Thank you very much, Monica. Welcome to all the media members. If you liked Ortiz versus Lopez and Matisse versus Soto, or last weekend Garcia versus Khan, you want to make sure that on July the 28th you're either going to be live at the HB Pavilion in San Jose. San Jose being a fight town, I do anticipate a sellout. So please make sure you get your tickets, make your readers, listeners or viewers aware. Get the tickets. They're starting for as little as $25. Really so like a gift from Robert to the community to be able to go and see a world-class, big-time boxing event of that caliber for as little as $25. Or if you cannot be in San Jose at the HB Pavilion, then make sure you're going to tune in on Showtime Championship Boxing at 10 p.m. Eastern. There's going to be some preliminary fights on Showtime Extreme as well, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be a great night for fight fans. This is going to be toe-to-toe action, just like these other fights were. And that's why you want to make sure you don't want to miss it. These two fighters have combined 57 wins with only one loss. 35 wins by KO. One of them is called Mini Tyson Aydin, and one of them is called the Ghost. So you're gonna see unbelievable action here. I want to thank our sponsors, Corona, DeWalt Tools, and AT&T, for putting their brand and exposure behind this great fight card. And this fight is a co-promotion with Ahmed Erner, Arena Box Promotions. It is a pleasure now for me to introduce to you Ahmed Erner, who will then introduce Selcuk Mini Tyson Aydin. Ahmed?
Yes, Richard. Thank you very much for this nice introduction. Thank you very much for the great opportunity to present my fighter in the U.S. I'm really, really proud to be the promoter of Selcuk Aydin. He's more than a fighter for me. He's like my brother, like my son, like everything. He's a family member. And I'm really proud, and I'm sure that Selcuk Aydin will show his power and will impress United States. I have nothing to talk against Guerrero. I checked him. He's a very strong, the right opponent, and I expect a tough fight. And I wish that Aydin wins, but I wish a good fight. And I'm really, really happy to work with you, Richard. You are really a good partner, good promoter, and so far you did everything very excellent. And I am really happy to be part of a great show, what I expect on July 28th. So that's for me. I will introduce you my guy Selcuk Aydin. At first I will say him hi on my language because I did not spoke for him for more than 4 weeks. Selcuk, merhaba, nasılsın? Selcuk?
Hi, Ahmed. This is Joe Amato from San Jose Boxing. Selcuk's in the ring right now. He chose not to be involved in the conference call right now. He's intently training hard, and he says he doesn't want to participate.
Oh, okay. I respect this because he's taking it very serious. It's a great opportunity for him. But I expect him here on the phone. Is he not on the phone? Is he close to you?
He's here in the gym. I have Emra here, his translator. Actually, we're trying to walk away where it's a little more quiet. But Selcuk, he feels disrespected. He's really angry that there's been no attention on him. He's just focused on the fight. He said he doesn't want to come out of the ring. He just wants to work on preparing for the 28th. Although Emra,
what is he doing right now? Sparring, or what is he doing?
He's in a heavy mitt session with Conrad Mittermer.
Oh, okay. And you are who?
Joe Amato. I own the gym that they're training out of our camp in San Jose.
Okay, good. By the way, his English is really not so good. So I hope you guys have no problem with Selcuk Aydin that he's not participating on this call. I hope still you get a good video out.
Well, it's unfortunate, Ahmed, that Selcuk is not on the call because that would have been exactly his opportunity to talk to the media and get his name out there. It seems to me that with little more than a week to go, and he's still in a heavy session with the pads, he must be very nervous about this fight, and maybe that's what it is, because if
for him, Richard, I can tell you one thing.
If he does want exposure, then this is his opportunity.
I think Richard, to make it easy, he gets his exposure in the ring when he beats Guerrero. That is his target. He's coming from Turkey, from Trabzon. He is not the type of guy who talks too much. He wants to show his power in the ring, and he wants to use every day and second and minute to prepare for the fight. He takes it very serious, and he's not a guy of talking, yes, I'm the best, I'm good. And I think he also don't want to get too much emotions with Guerrero, because Guerrero seems to be a nice, good person. And, you know, if fighters get too close, sometimes they are not hurting each other enough. And that is the problem by Aydin. Aydin wants to build his own enemy. Perhaps he's trying to build Guerrero for his real enemy, to show a good performance in the ring. So, to be honest, I expected him on the phone, but this thing happened also before in his career. Aydin always showed up on every fight, on every weigh-in and everywhere, but he never showed too much about impressing. He's very, very, how to say, a little shy, and I think also he's nervous, because why? This is, for him, he wants to win.
So, Richard, I got some information from Selcuk right now we relayed. He's very frustrated, angry. He wants you to clearly know that he's not nervous. He's upset that there's been no support and no attention given to him by the media in the United States. He's training extremely hard, and he's focused. And matter of fact, I could hear him yelling in the background. The guy is very angry, and he said not to mistake his anger for fear.
Okay, I think also
tell him please that this is his opportunity to have exposure and talk to the media. That's the way this works, and we have a little bit over a week to go, and then next week we're going to have the press conference in San Jose. He's going to have another opportunity to get to know the U.S. media, and the media to get to know him. I think it is a mistake that he is missing this opportunity to have exposure with the national media. But look, you cannot make one come to the phone, and that's pretty much that. Let's move on now. There is no sense to go back and.
What is your name? What is your name? You are translating for Aydin. What was your name?
I'm sorry.
Hello.
Question to me?
Yeah, because what's your name?
My name is Joe Amato.
Joe.
I'm the owner.
Joe Amato. Listen. Okay, I understood. You are the owner of the gym. Tell him that I'm on the phone. I want to speak to him in my national language.
Yes, at this time, we need to turn it over to Robert Guerrero, who is...
Yes, okay, look, I mean, we don't want to, Ahmed, in all due respect, you know, we don't play the games that a gym owner is translating. You know, the guys, let the angry fighter continue to hit the heavy bag. In the meantime, it is a pleasure for me to turn it over to a former three-time three-division world champion, one of the most well-known names here in the sport, an inspiring young man in and out of the ring, who has notably given up his junior lightweight crown in early 2010 to care for his ill wife, Casey, who has, by the way, fully recovered. He's well known for his charity work in his community with the LLS, the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. He has a tremendous record of 29-1-1 with 18 KOs, with notable wins over Casamayor. But he's really one of the true stars of boxing. No challenge is too big. He skipped over a couple weight classes to get this opportunity. He wants to get the big fight. He knows that this is a big fight. He knows that Selcuk Aydin is dangerous, is undefeated, that it's not going to be an easy fight, but he's well prepared. He's going to use his skills and his ring smarts to come back with the WBC interim world title at the 147-pound weight class. I have no doubt about that. He is he's quickly closing in on a spot in the top of the pound-for-pound list should he defeat Aydin. It is an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce to you now Robert the Ghost Guerrero.
Thank you, Richard. First, I want to say I just want to thank God for all the blessings He's blessed me with, and for what He's going to bless me with. So I just want to thank God first and foremost. And I'm in great shape. I was out in training camp for 7 weeks out in Lake Tahoe in the high elevation. Did everything I had to do to fight. Very focused. This fight right here means a lot. This is a milestone for me and a turning point to get crack the pound for pound top 10 list, and then also puts me in line for bigger fights in the future for those mega fights. So this is a very important fight, and I'm very focused, and I'm very ready for this fight, and I just can't wait to get in the ring. I know Selcuk Aydin is a tremendous fighter. I've watched film on him. He's a very strong fighter. He puts a lot of pressure, and the motto is pressure busts pipes, and if you let it get to you, it can. So I know I have to be very focused and very disciplined in this fight and come out and give my best performance. But I'm going to leave you with, I'm 100% prepared. I left no stone unturned, and I'm ready to go. And there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be coming out with this victory.
Okay. Now we'd like to thank you, Robert. We are going to open it up now to the media so they can ask questions.
Thank you. If you would like to ask a question or have a comment, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. This will place your question in the order it was received. Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad now.
Now the media asking questions.
Our first question comes from Robert Morales.
Your hand is raised. Please ask your question when prompted. Press the pound sign to lower your hand.
Hello, man.
All right, how you doing, Robert?
I'm good, man. Good. Hey, I wonder, what can you tell us about your thought process? What went through your head as far as goals and all that stuff when you decided to make the jump from lightweight to welterweight?
The thought process going through my head is, positioning myself for that mega fight with either Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. So, those are the two biggest fights out there, and I'm about taking on the biggest challenges that are out there. And at 147 right now, the biggest challenge out there is Selcuk Aydin. He's undefeated. He's the #1 contender in the WBC. So, I'm going to take on the best and the biggest challenge to position myself to where I need to position myself. So, the whole thought process of going up to 47 is looking for those big fights. I have trouble getting fights at 140 pounds, 135. Bypass and do the crazy thing that not very many fighters are willing to do, and move up 2 weight classes. So that's what I'm about, is not talking the talk but walking the walk.
Did you, by any chance, maybe look back and see what Sugar Shane Mosley did, going from 135 to 147, and knowing that he was successful? Did you take a look at that at all, Robert?
Oh yeah, definitely. Being a good friend of Shane's and seeing what he's done in boxing, it's inspiring. Seeing what Manny Pacquiao done in boxing, inspiring. What Floyd Mayweather's done, moving through all the weight classes, it sets the bar high where if you want to be one of the best and top fighters in the history of boxing, these are the kind of things you're going to do. Move through weight classes, win titles in multiple weight classes, and do things that are rarely done, like moving 2 weight classes. So, like I said, I want to leave this sport knowing that I fought the best and I've done the best I can do, and I've done things that haven't really been done in boxing. That it's a rarity. So, like I said, that's what I'm about, and I'm going out there to look for the best fights possible.
Excuse me, Robert. We had a comment coming from Selcuk's an interpreter. His name is Emra. Go ahead, Emra.
Cevapta bir büyük hata var. Selçuk Aydın'ı yenmesi gerekiyor böyle bir hata, böyle bir hayal kurabilmesi için. Daha Selçuk Aydın maçı bitmedi. Büyük isimlerden konuşuyor. Bu büyük isimleri ağzına alabilmesi için ilk önce Selçuk Aydın'ı yenmesi gerekiyor.
I'll translate for him. He says that Selcuk believes that Robert is making a huge mistake looking past him and thinking of the big fights when he's got a big opponent in front of him, that he feels he's underestimating him and isn't respecting him as the true challenger that he is.
Well, there ain't no looking past anybody. If that's what he thinks, he's making a mistake. So I just came from a training camp, being in training camp, isolated, no TV, in the middle of nowhere, focusing on this fight. So if anybody thinks that I'm taking this fight light, that I'm looking past, you got it wrong. I just know what's on the horizon. So this fight is very important. Like I said, I'm in tremendous training camp. I'm ready to go.
Hiçbir hata yapmadık. 4 haftadır Amerika'ya geldik. Kendimizi çok iyi hazırlıyoruz. Ve bu maçı hiç de küçümsemiyoruz. O yüzden burada bu maçı yenip ileriye bakacağız.
So what he's saying is they've been here for almost a month, locked up in a hotel, secluded from the public, been to the gym and nowhere else. And that the only thing on Selcuk's mind has been training, and he's in incredible shape.
Well,
okay, thanks, Joe, for translating. Robert Morales, are you done with your questions? Or
actually, Monica, I did have one more if I can.
Of course, go ahead.
Robert, obviously moving up 2 weight classes, you're going to be feeling, I'm sure, a different sort of power in there. I'm sure you've taken great pains to be sparring with nothing but welterweights, maybe even bigger guys. Any concern at all about the difference in power?
Yeah, there's always concern all the time. When you move up a weight class, the guys punch harder. The guys are bigger, especially Selcuk, full-fledged welterweight, being there, most of his career, and the majority of knockouts he has. He's a hard puncher. He's a tough guy. He puts pressure and he breaks guys down. So it all works into the game plan that we've been working on, and that's what you got to do. Is you got to execute what you worked on in the gym and what you prepared for. So all the hard work's done, and I did all the hard work, did everything I had to do, all the studying, watching fight film, doing all that. So, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for what's going to come to me for, on July 28th.
All right. Thanks, Robert. Good luck, man.
Great. Thank you, Robert.
Our
Hello?
next question comes from Lem Satterfield with Ring TV.
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
All right, how's it going, Lem?
Hey, good. Disappointed that Selcuk pulled that move. Very disappointed, but that's neither here nor there. Robert, it's been since April of last year that you've been in the ring. What are the positives and negatives about that? How have you used that time, and how have you dealt with some of the frustrations that have occurred during that time?
Well, the positives of it is, my body's fresh. I'm not all beat up. I haven't been, through the trenches. It's just been training and maintaining and staying in great shape. The only negative is the inactivity. Not being able to be fighting, being able to, be in the ring and showcasing. So, that's the only negative of it. And, but other than that, I'm ready to go. I'm excited. I'm getting this opportunity to fight at welterweight, especially for the WBC Championship of the World, and especially against a guy that is very tough and that comes to fight every time, and I really think it's a fight that I need and that's going to catapult me.
Obviously, not to belabor the point, but Joel Constamayor, you showed patience and boxing ability. Just a little mental lapse in the last round where you got dropped. But then, Vicente Escobedo, who's got a big fight coming up, you showed a lot of power against him and made the adjustment when you were getting hurt. And then Katsides, you showed a mixture of both, boxing, the ability to fight inside. When you build momentum off of those 3 fights and then you have to wait for, as long as you've had. How do you recapture the emotion of that time and the momentum you had at that time for a fight like this?
Just being hungry all the time, wanting to be the best, wanting to do big things in the sport. Also, and everybody knows, I put my family first, and this is what puts food on the table for them. This is what gets my family through. So, I'm going to go out there and fight the best I can, and also I'm going to train the hardest that I can to be prepared for every fight.
What do you know of Selcuk, and given the fact that you're moving up? I mean, Paulie Malignaggi, went over to another country and stopped the guy. What do you know about him? And moving up in weight, what are some of the adjustments you're going to have to make? Given that you're giving up some weight and potentially, some power.
You got to be very smart in the ring all the time. Selcuk Aydin, I mean, he's no joke. His name's not very big, but he is a dangerous fight for anybody. He's a big right-handed puncher. He got power in both hands. I've seen him take shots, solid ones, and walk through them and just keep coming. So, and he carries power all the way through. He carries power all the way through the 12th round. So, at any given moment, he can put you out with one shot. So, you got to take a guy like him serious, and you got to be 100% prepared for him, or not. That's when you come up short. So, he's no fighter to be taken light, and you got to be ready. You got to be ready at all times, and whether it's Selcuk Aydin, whether whoever it is, when a fighter has two hands, anything's possible.
My last question for you: you're fighting in front of your, what would largely be a hometown crowd, at the HP Pavilion. Is that, on one hand, it's great. It's an opportunity to fight in front of a home crowd, but on the other hand, it could be a lot of pressure. How is it a little bit of both for you, and what do you expect that to do for you in terms of your performance?
I'm not even really thinking about the hometown crowd and all the pressure and everything. My main focus is on getting in there, winning the fight, sticking to my game plan, doing what I got to do, and knowing that when you got a hometown crowd, a lot of fighters tend to fight to the crowd and get caught into that, which that's what not to do. That's when you get yourself into trouble. You just got to stick to your game plan, stay focused, and stay mentally strong in the ring, and carry out your game plan all the way through the whole fight.
Robert, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it, and good luck next week.
Thank you, Lynn.
Our next question comes from Dan Rafael with ESPN.
Hello, Robert. How are you today?
All right. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. Like Lem said when he was talking to you, this is going to be your first fight in 15 months since the Katsidas fight. I know the reason that you've been out for that long of a stretch was you had the arm injury that forced you to call off another fight. Can you just give me an update and tell me how your shoulder is feeling? Because I know at the time it was, kind of a scary injury. Weren't sure exactly what was the problem, but you had the surgery, got it corrected. How is it feeling, and how has it been in your rehabilitation?
Man, it went great. The rehabilitation went great too. I was, I did 3.5 months of physical therapy. With a woman out of San Francisco who's tremendous, who works with the Giants, the A's, the Raiders, the Niners. So she's awesome what she does. Man, I couldn't be happier the way it came out. The arm feels good. I'm doing things with it that I've never done before, at all in my boxing career. So, I just can't wait to get out there. I already put that injury behind me and moved on, and I'm in great shape, and I can't wait to get out there.
It was your right shoulder, correct?
It was the left.
It was your left, okay. When you came back and started to use it when you were training, was there an aspect of, tentativeness when you were, either sparring or hitting the mitts or anything like that? And how long did it take until you felt like you were comfortable enough where it was no problem to go full blast and not worry about what it might feel like?
No, not at all. As soon as I was able to start working bags and everything, I went full force. The one thing with the physical therapist is we worked on was, letting go, not compensating, not letting your subconscious take over and start compensating for other muscles. That's what we worked on. Throughout my whole career, my other muscles were compensating for the rotator, and I wasn't able to do things with it that I couldn't do before. So, we worked that all out in physical therapy, and it's great where when I was able to get back into the gym and start throwing the left hand, I was throwing it full force and all the way through.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall when you had the operation in the first place, that even though the injury happened before your fight, that the thought from the doctor was that you had this sort of injury sort of at least there a little bit for quite a long time, that it never properly healed from earlier on. Now do they tell you everything is perfectly good?
Oh, yeah, and that's why I was saying, subconsciously your body compensates for other muscles that are injured and other things. So physical therapy, that's what we had to work out, was getting all your muscle groups working together and not, subconsciously compensating for one another. So, did a tremendous job on that, and I just feel it feels 10 times stronger than it was before.
Okay, so the surgery was like 15 months ago, or I guess a little bit less than that because it was before your previous fight. But how long after your surgery were you ready? Because now it's July. I'm not sure. Maybe were you ready to fight maybe in June or in the later part of the spring? But it was just a matter of getting a date from TV or an opponent or anything like that. When were you actually ready to fight?
I was ready to go in June. I was ready to start training hard. So by March, April, May, I was ready to get back in the ring.
Okay. And just one other question for you then. With Aydin, I mean, you haven't had a knockout in a while. I mean, you talked about the power being different when you get to a heavier weight. Do you feel like with the arm repaired that you might, even though you're coming up two different weight classes, that because it's now physically ready, that you're going to maybe have a little more pop yourself in your left hand?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's a lot more pop in it. Like I said, I'm doing things with it I've never done before. It feels great. Like I said, it was muscles were compensating for other muscles where when that's happening, you're not throwing right.
Right.
And, now I got everything all working together, solid package, and I've been throwing a lot of strong left hands, and, it's way stronger than it was before, and now I'm able to let it go with full force.
Well, that's good to hear. I wish you good luck. I had a question for Richard, if he's there. Richard, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Dan, Selcuk he's actually joined us. He heard you and Robert speaking. He wanted to say something directly. I'm going to go ahead and hand him the phone.
Can you hang on a second?
Okay,
Hello, I am Selcuk Aydin.
Okay, go ahead. Say what you have to say.
Politikacı bu konuşmayı bırak. Antrenmanları da bırak. Çene antrenmanlarına başla. Çeneni güçlendirmen lazım çünkü onu kıracağım.
So I'm going to go ahead and...
Can I translate it? I want to translate it. I'm his promoter. He said to Robert, don't talk too much.
Like you speak like a politician. He believes you need to spend more time training and strengthening your jaw because he's going to break it.
It's nice of him to join the call.
I believe him. I believe him, Dan. I believe him.
Any questions?
No, if I may, I'm going to continue with my question to Richard.
Okay, please, guys. I mean, Dan Rayfield is on and is asking a question. Okay, in all due,
we love Dan Rafael.
Okay, we're done now with Aydin now. Okay, he had his chance. He elected not to, so he should continue to go and hit the heavy bags. I really don't want to hear from him now again. This is not the way. This is not the way we conduct conference calls here. Okay, so please, this is about...
Don't be angry, Richard.
No,
Richard, don't be angry.
It's about respect. I'm not angry with you. I'm not angry with you. It's not you.
No, I know.
Let the media...
But don't be angry to him.
Yeah, please. Let the U.S. media do their job now. Dan Rayfield, please.
I have to say, Richard, I've done probably hundreds and hundreds of calls in my time. This is a first for me, so it's kind of entertaining. But my question for you, Robert, with his comments earlier, talked about that, I think it was Robert Morales who asked him about going up to welterweight, jumping over the two weight class. classes. And, he talked about, well, it's the way to get a big fight against, and he mentioned Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. They're the two biggest names in those weight divisions. But I know the Golden Boy promotes a lot of good fighters, in the 140, 147-pound weight divisions. And I'm wondering, from your point of view as the promoter, every fighter in those weight classes would love to get a crack at Pacquiao or Mayweather, but there's only one guy at a time that can do that. So, maybe Robert won't get that fight against either one of those guys. And I'm wondering, from your point of view, if you see Robert look very good as a welterweight and show the kind of talent that he's shown in the lower weight divisions, as the promoter, where do you think he can go? Because you have guys like, Devin's going to fight Bailey for one of the titles, and you have, other, fighters in the weight class, whether it's, Lopez or, Josecito Lopez, if maybe he beats Canelo or whatever it is. Do you have a bunch of guys in those weight classes? What do you think about the future for Robert in one of those sort of fights that maybe not the level of Pacquiao Mayweather, but some other, pretty significant premium cable type of fight?
Weight class, and I think we promote about 70% of all the main guys in those weight classes. So I think the opportunities are absolutely there. It's going to be up to Robert, to show what he is all about in a week and a half, and I have the utmost confidence in that. Of course, everyone in those weight classes wants to fight either Mayweather or Pacquiao. These are the two big names. These are the two best fighters, pound for pound. And I think the list is long for those guys. But do I think that Robert, assuming everything goes well and he looks great, do I think he deserves an opportunity to fight a Floyd Mayweather? Absolutely, because before there were talks about that, and the team Mayweather felt that Robert has to first make some impact in the 147-pound weight class. And not just jump from 35 to 47 or from 40 to 47. So he felt, that's the way to go. And I think that's why we are doing a fight here, which is a dangerous fight. But it's going to be up to Robert to perform. And as a promoter, and that, and the fighters know that I am here to give our fighters opportunities to perform in the biggest fights. And Robert is not only a terrific fighter, is already a very accomplished fighter with being three-time world champion, three-division world champion. There are very few fighters who have that kind of background. So do I think that I will try my best to see that I can get him a potential fight with Floyd Mayweather? Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Robert, good luck to you next week. Thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you, Dan.
And our next question comes from Ryan Macchignano with Comcast Sports.
How you doing, Robert?
All right. How's it going, Ryan?
Good. I know you've been calling out all the big names at the 147, and kind of carrying over from that last question, with two of Golden Boy's biggest assets around that weight class, and with Ortiz losing at 147 and Khan, who was planning to move up to 147. Is that on your mind at all heading into the fight, as far as maybe moving up the pecking order for these big names? And do you think this window for these big names at 147 just got bigger?
Oh yeah, the window's always getting bigger. I always go back to God closes doors that can't be opened, and God opens doors that can't be closed. And He's opening doors that can't be closed, and I just got to step in, take care of business, walk right in, and it's all going to be there. So that's all I can look past Aydin, and you got to be ready for him, because this is the door, and this is the opportunity to walk in.
And Richard, just one quick question. I know that you said that he might be pound for pound worthy with a win here, and I know you said you're going to try hard to get him a fight with Floyd. I know you said you're going to try hard. Hello? Can you hear me?
Go ahead. I can hear you. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and you said you might be pound for pound worthy with a win, and you try hard to get him a fight with Floyd if possible. What would the immediate road be, in the sense if Robert wins here, he'd be interim champ? Would you, if you couldn't make the fight work, would you try to make Robert a full-fledged champion? Try to see if you get Floyd stripped for not defending the belt. What would you try to do in that situation?
Well, I think that I've been told that WBC has sort of like made Floyd, waiting until he's out of jail, like their champion in recess or something like that. So I don't really, know what the legal solution for the legal background is. But the fact is, yes, I would pursue a fight for Robert with Floyd. But again, I'm very hesitant to look and talk like that because believe me, Selcuk Aydin is extreme. I think you guys noticed that probably. I'm sure you heard him hit the heavy bag. The guy is really motivated and fired up. So
yes.
I think it's a very, very dangerous thing to even have these kind of conversation. Let Robert focus on this fight, and then we'll worry about the next thing. As it relates to the pound-for-pound question, I don't think that you become a pound-for-pound fighter because of one fight. I think it is the cumulative work, over the past cumulative fights over the past couple of years, which sort of like start moving you on that list. And again, I believe that Robert, with being a 3-time world champion and 3-division world champion, certainly belongs on that list. And the only thing I can say, let's focus on this fight. I talked to Robert yesterday, and I told him that. I said, don't get carried away. The fight, your fight. Don't look forward. You know what happens when fighters look forward. We saw that with Victor Ortiz a couple weeks ago. We saw that with Amir Khan a week ago. All fighters which went in as heavy favorites, and look what happened. I mean, it's a very dangerous thing, having conversations and looking forward.
A very last question for Ahmet. I know that Selcuk didn't get his nickname Mini Tyson for winning many decisions, but in the event that you are going to be coming to Robert's hometown, are you concerned at all about Selcuk getting a fair shake from the judges over here?
To be honest, really not, because sometimes, every promoter is getting a little benefit. He's not trying by himself. Promoters are getting a benefit from the judges sometimes, not by every fight. I saw many correct judges. I saw many incorrect rule decisions. So I'm really thinking, to be honest, I don't believe really that we will need in that fight judges. I'm not really concerned because I know Aydin and I saw him right. I listened now to him. He's really angry like a pit bull. He's motivated. That will be a tough fight. I really don't see them. I don't really worry about judges because I believe Aydin will knock him out or will get knocked out, because that is what I see. Because Aydin is so motivated, he will do everything. Because I never in my life saw Aydin. He's not disrespectful to the press. That shows really how motivated he is. He's going to die or to kill. That is what he wants to do. Aydin is a really, really tough guy, and I don't think this fight needs judges. Only a good referee. Because when I listen to him, how he jumped to the microphone or to his cell phone and to give a comment to Robert, so that is Aydin, and Aydin is really, I don't know if I really need to worry about judges, because to be honest, Golden Boy is also a big company, and they don't want also to have headaches with it, and the judges also not, because this is boxing, and I really don't think about this. I trust in Richard really much, and I trust in both fighters. I think Robert knows what he has to do. Aydin knows what he has to do. Aydin chose to do this, what he wants to do, not to participate, and Robert uses this opportunity because he's American. He lives in the United States. I understand Robert, and also I a little bit understand Aydin. Even this is not the full answer for your question, but what you expect that I said I am afraid. I'm not afraid of judges.
Thank you, gentlemen, and good luck on July 28th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from Robert Huff with FightNews.com.
Robert, are you there? From Fight News?
He got out of the question queue.
Okay, let's go to the next one then.
All right. If you would like to ask a question, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. Once again, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question comes from Raymond Aranda with 3morerounds.com.
Hey, Robert, how you been, bud?
All right, how you doing?
Not too bad, you know how it is. So, Robert, talking about fighting, up at welterweight, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the heaviest that you weighed for a fight was, I want to say 138 or so when you fought Casamayor before going back down to lightweight. Looking back at that fight, as it pertains to this fight now, did you feel comfortable at that particular weight? I mean, did you feel that you could eventually move up and still be comfortable?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. With Casamayor, I try not to come in too heavy because knowing Casamayor, he's a slick fighter. He's dangerous. He lures you to sleep. He's a crafty guy. I mean, he has a lot of, training by his side. He's a young fighter. You know a guy, how he is and how sharp they are and their mindset in the ring. So, I came in, a little bit lighter than I wanted to. Then I came in a little bit lighter to be a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper, and that's why I went out there and just did what I had to do to get the win.
Now, win, lose, or draw, do you see yourself remaining at this weight? I mean, is it comfortable to the point where you wouldn't want to go back down to another division?
Yeah. It all depends. It depends. Like I said, I'm looking for the biggest fights out there, and right now, the biggest fight for me out there is Selcuk Aydin because that's who's in front of me right now. So, God willing, everything goes great. The 28th, I'm looking for the biggest fights out there.
Robert, I know you talked and you're pretty good friends with, our other two, big names up here in the Bay Area, Andre Ward and O'Neal Donaire. Do you feel any extra motivation, or when you talk to these guys, do they motivate you to get better, to almost one up them, if you will? Not obviously not in a bad way, but just kind of in a competitive nature, to try to do better each time out.
No, not at all. I always look at it as, you don't worry about what the next man's doing. You worry about what you're doing. And, me, Andre, and Nonito Donaire have been friends since we were kids and the amateurs. And, I'm just happy that they're doing great and they're doing their job and they're doing what they love to do just as well as I am. So, it comes down to wanting to be the best in your own heart, not, because of somebody else is, next door to you and they're doing, big things. It's wanting to be the best in your own heart, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to you, what you've done. And
Robert, no, sorry, I was going to say, I would say since probably the Malcolm Klassen fight, I think we had talked previously, when we had talked sometime around that fight, and I told you that, it seems like every fight since then you've been getting a little bit better, and you've been showing a different side of your game, whether it's, boxing more effectively, using your movement, showing more hand speed. You showed some aggression in the Escobedo and the Katsidas fight. So it seems like you're definitely, developing your game a bit more with each fight. And you're still a young fighter. Do you feel that you're starting to finally, maybe not necessarily peak, but kind of show fans and show, the boxing world that, there's different aspects of your game, that are going to continue to improve?
Oh yeah, definitely. That goes to before the Klassen fight. Not very many people don't realize. I was out there working. Working a side job just to get by. I was out there, sleeping on hospital floors while my wife was sick in the hospital. I was taking care of my children, and then with all that to top it off, would squeeze in the training for the championship fight. So a lot of people don't realize what I've had to go through. And, as my wife's health got better and better, the better I get, because the more I can focus on being in the gym and getting better and working on my skills. So a lot of people don't really understand, and that's why I say with Selcuk thinking that I'm overlooking him, he got no idea what I've been through. So he better be ready. That's all I got to say. For me to be talking like a politician and he's going to break my jaw, he better be ready. Because he talks a lot that he's going to break this and that. So he better be ready because he don't know what I've been through in my life.
Sounds good, Robert. Well, best of luck to you, man, and I'll see you next week.
Hey, thank you.
All right, bud.
Our last question comes from Robert Huff with FightNews.com.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, how's it going, Robert?
Pretty well. I'm calling from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, so it's a little hot here. But, as people have touched on with your shoulder, it'll be essentially 16 months before, since you fought. Does this enter into your mind at all about how you might handle things in the first round or even in the first minute of the first round, since it's been so long and this guy's got a pretty serious punch?
No, not at all. It's like riding a bike. Once you learn to ride a bike, you always know how to ride a bike. It comes down to having good sparring. Being focused in the gym, doing what I got to do, being out in the training camp, preparing out. My main focus is going out there and executing my game plan. And, I ain't worried about anything else. I know Selcuk's a hard puncher. He comes to fight. I got to stay on my game and focus and do what I got to do to win the fight.
Can you let us know who you've been sparring with?
Sparring with the guy who's out in Lake Tahoe. His name is Martin. I'm not sure what his last name is, but tremendous sparring partner. Put a lot of pressure. He kind of simulates Aydin style. And I had another guy named Al out of San Francisco who is also a strong fighter too. Came and put tremendous amount of pressure and threw a lot of punches at me. And then I also had the 2011 132-pound Olympian Jose Ramirez come out and spar with me. Very fast kid, very strong, moved a lot, gave me a lot of different looks. So I'm thankful for all the great sparring I got.
Well, hey, thanks a lot. Tell Mario to watch his diet for me, all right?
I'm going to tell him that.
Be good, all right?
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Robert, for taking time out of your training schedule. And again, for everyone, this July 28th, a week and a half from the HP Pavilion in San Jose. Tickets starting at $25. The top price ticket is $250. Make sure you're going to be there because I'm sure you could sense the fireworks on this call, and that's exactly what you're going to see on July the 28th. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Richard.
Yes.
One thing, at least. I believe that Selcuk will be ready after the fight for the next press conference.
All right. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us today.